asked because his jackets covered up by the waterproof at the moment are somewhat loud.
Ready, please.
So this is the semi-final of the Ireland Challenge Cup between Oxford Brookes University A crew over on the far side of your picture and Brown University USA closest to the camera on the Ireland side of the course. Sophia Bernard, the Oxford Brookes Cox, has her hand up.
Okay, get ready,
Maya
please.
Bernard, the Brown University Cox, has a hand down. Oh no, it's up again now. Just got to find the time to give the start, haven't you, Sarah?
Spot on. As the umpire, you want that moment where both crews are ready so you can give them their best start. But what you can see is the Oxford Brookes Cox has got her hand up because she's asking her bow woman just to adjust it. And then, of course, Brown has moved a little bit and they're asking their two women to adjust it. But look now, I think in a second, yeah, there they are, both hands down.
Go.
Nice easy squeeze on that first stroke. Got to just think about the first stroke, be nice and clean. Then you go through your start phase rhythm, building up to 40 plus strokes a minute. Both crews blasting off the start. How do you see that, Sarah?
Yeah, wasn't it great to see those really strong, clean starts from both crews? We've got Brown moved away a little bit from the island there. We need to make sure that she does get herself back onto her station. But yeah, fantastic. And I think as we go to the catamaran on the side shot, we'll see that perhaps it's Oxford Brookes. They've just got a little bit of lead.
Oh yeah, I think that's pretty close. Brown maybe just a metre or two up. I thought Brown beat a very good near-house 8 yesterday in the heat of this Ireland Challenge Cup, and I wasn't sure that they put as much distance as they did between them and near-house. And they've impressed every round. They've got quite an aggressive front-ended, front-loaded stroke, haven't they?
Yeah, spot on. And they impressed when they came over in women's Henley, of course, winning there, beating UL, I think, in the final. And yeah, you can see that they really are picking up the water well, but it's that second half where how they open their legs and back together that is giving that aggressive, fast start.
Row in Providence, Rhode Island, Brown on the Sakona River, which is windy and rough. So they would have been used to conditions today in the middle of the day. It's not perhaps as rough as they are used to training on the river back in Providence, Rhode Island. But at the moment, they are edging out every single stroke from the women from Oxford Brookes.
Yeah, and if you look there, I think they've got a slightly higher stroke rate, and they really are looking to see if they can grab this race from the beginning. We talk about Henley and their side-by-side racing. They have that experience at Henley Women's, and they've seen how important it is to get ahead and dominate the race, and this is what they're looking to do now. Oxford Brookes, they look a little bit lower, they look a little bit longer, but still holding in there.
So it's Oxford Brookes on the right of your picture, the women from Brown University USA on the left, coached by Tessa Gobbo, who herself is an Olympic champion. I just have to ask you, Sarah, what does it mean to be coached by someone who's had success in the Olympics? What does it mean to these women?
Well, we should ask some of your athletes, Martin, but inspiration, I think, really simply. That person has been there. They stood on the sat on the start line, and they know what it feels like. And so you kind of want to, as an athlete, listen to every word they say, because you want to learn from that experience. They'll have had good and bad days at the office, so we all do, and they'll have come through it and got to that, the one we all want, the Olympic title.
There we go, the women from Brown still up in this race. The women from Oxford Brookes University A crew battling to get back, coached by Hugo Gulliver. Now at Brookes, formerly was coaching at the University of London Boat Club. A lot of experience coaching women's crews, and this is a great crew that Oxford Brookes have put together. And boy oh boy, you know, it's going to take a lot to beat them. But you can see the women from Brown do have that just about a 1 length margin to take into the sort of, I guess, third quarter, we're saying, this part of the course.
Yeah, and yesterday when they were up against their relative opposition, they were second quicker than Oxford Brookes to the Forley point. So we might expect them to see what, be ahead at this point. What we don't know, because both crews beat their opposition and by 3 lengths or 4 lengths, is what they've got in the second half here. But look at Brown, look how they're using the second half of the stroke, and it's so effective in this.
It's a real sweep through, isn't it? I mean, and the thing is, they're so quick to bury their blades, to lock their blades. It reminds me a bit of the American crews when they were at their best, in 2012 and in 2016 when they took Olympic gold. I think, similar kind of aggressive technique.
Yeah, we're talking about the boat, the yellow boat with the dark strip on the left-hand side. They're the ones with the blades with white on the bottom and black or brown on the top, with brown. And what we're talking about when we talk about that cover is how quickly the white of each blade disappears into the water. And so as a rower, we always look at our catches on slow-mo, one stroke, one stroke, one stroke, to see how quickly you're covering it, because we know until you connect the blade, you can't move the water.
Stroke woman of Brown, Caroline Schmitz, just 19 years of age. She's won on this water. She won at Women's Henley, so I guess she's got that motivation. But you can see that Brown are, at the moment, drawing clear of Oxford Brookes.
And they've just crossed the finish point that they will have used at Women's Henley. They'd have come off the start, but the finish point is at Remenham, the point they just stopped at. So for our regatta, there's a 2,112 metres, and so they're going all the way for this particular occasion. And look at that, you can see on their faces real determination, but relaxation in the same point. Fire in the belly, ice in the mind.
Dahlia Levine in the 7th seat, really giving it some, the 20-year-old from Brown, just behind the stroke woman. Is there anything that Oxford Brookes University can do at this point? Is there anything Sophia Bernal, the Cox, can say to motivate them to bring them back on Brown, Sarah?
So it'll be about, because what they're doing is good, but doing everything a tiny little bit better. So making sure that all 8 women are concentrating on the same thing. When that happens in an 8, it lifts you. So maybe they need to concentrate on their catches. That catches we were talking about on the Bravo. Can Oxford Brookes make their catches a little bit better and lift it off each other? And so you can then feel that as a crewmate, you feel that surge and want to do more.
This is an Oxford Brookes crew, an entirely new one from the crew that won last year. They're not eligible, the women that won last year. There is the back of Olivia White, the 19-year-old. She was in that 8 that won gold at Bucks.
Yeah, looking there, she's been down the regatta, entered in the regatta one time before, and of course the stroke girl as well one time. But apart from that, the first campaign that they will have done at Henley Royal Regatta, and that's the amazing thing about these new women's events, that we are giving young athletes, young female athletes, this experience. Brown against Oxford Brookes here in the student women's 8 event.
Yes, and they've come from all around the world, haven't they, to race here at Henley Regatta. And we are in the final stages. You can tell that as we go down the enclosure. There's the regatta enclosure, the crews are coming past. Big shout for Oxford Brookes, obviously the home crew, but Brown supporters here, seeing one of their former alumni, Jamie Coven, who's been looking after the parents of Brown, who will be down here at the regatta watching their sons, daughters, as they cross the finish line to take this semi-final of the Island Challenge Cup for University Women's 8s. Brown again dominate. Who is going to stop this Brown crew? Oxford Brookes University cross the line. For them, the regatta is done.
Martin, that's a fantastic performance by the Brown boat. What I loved was how aggressive and fast and flat they were off the start, getting ahead in this 2-course race, and that allowed them to control it all the way. Oxford Brookes had to catch up from that second stroke.